The Washington Capitals come all the way back, doing all of their damage at even strength. And then another power play goal for the Penguins in the third period ends it. Caps lose 5-3 to the Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh. The Caps were on the second half of a back-to-back for this one, while the Pittsburgh Penguins were fully rested playing at home. The Caps, like I said, second half of a back-to-back, travel in between, and they actually outscored the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-1 at 5-on-5 in this game. But special teams sink the Washington Capitals again. Let's get into it, babes. First period, surprise, surprise. The Penguins, they get the game's first power play just a minute into this game, and it was actually going pretty well for the Capitals because while the Penguins are on the power play here, Tom Wilson takes off on a short-handed, clear-cut breakaway. And the in-arena goal horn guy in Pittsburgh decides that now is the time to blow the goal horn for absolutely no reason at all. No reason for it. He just did not want Tom Wilson to be on a short-handed breakaway, apparently. So that kills the play, obviously. His breakaway is no more here as the game stops with the blowing of that goal horn by, like I said, the in-arena horn guy in Pittsburgh. Wonder if he is a Penguins fan. And yeah, we got no explanation for this whatsoever from the broadcast. Nothing was said by the officials in arena to let the crowd know what had happened. Just no explanation whatsoever here on this one. So yeah, the play is dead here. Tom Wilson's shorthanded breakaway is no more. The game stops, like I said, and again, for absolutely no reason at all. We resume after a face-off, and the Pens, of course, score on the power play. Great stuff by the league there. No wonder the Penguins have been winning games. Anyway, it's Sidney Crosby on the power play, 1-0 Penguins. The Penguins would then get another power play later on in the period. They would score on that one as well. Sidney Crosby again, 2-0 Penguins. The Penguins had 3 power plays in this first period alone. So 2-0 Pens, and that is how the first period would end. And then we go to the second period where just a couple of minutes in to the second period here, our old friend Anthony Mantha, he scores a goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins, putting them up 3-0. So things were looking pretty bleak here at 3-0 until just about halfway through this second period. Alex Ovechkin, Dylan Strome, and their line, they decide to take over this hockey game. First, Alex Ovechkin passed down low to Dylan Strome. Dylan Strome goes top shelf past Sheloff's, 3-1. That is Dylan Strome's 4th goal of the season already, even though he did miss some games due to injury. And for Alex Ovechkin on the primary assist, that is the only assist there on that goal. Then, when we are at 3-1, rookie Ryan Leonard scores a beautiful goal here for the Washington Capitals, faking and outweighting the Pens netminder before pulling it to his backhand and firing it in. And yeah, this sick goal by Ryan Leonard here appears to make this a 3-2 game, but hold on just a moment here because the Penguins are going to issue a coach's challenge here for offside. And I've just got to tell you, it looks pretty fucking onside to me. I'm just, again, watching it again here on my phone. The puck does not appear to ever fully make it back out of the zone on the play in question. The puck certainly appears to still be on top of the blue line, which would make it onside. At the very least, I have no clue how you would be able to argue that that is conclusive evidence to be able to overturn the original onside call made by the linesman. There is absolutely nothing conclusive about that replay there. And like I said, it sure appears to be a lot more onside than it is offside. But here they come, the referee just happier than a pig in shit here to announce that they are going to be taking this goal away from the Washington Capitals again, and so it remains 3-1. The Washington Capitals, over in coach's challenge scenarios this season, continues for another day at least. The Penguins have also had 4 times the amount of power plays that the Caps have had at this point in the game, by the way. 2 power play goals for Pittsburgh and a goal taken away for Washington at that point in what was a 3-1 game. Love to see it. I know that is why I personally watch sports, is to see the officials decide things. Exhilarating. And is the league seriously going to try and tell us that this Caps goal is offside, but that goal that the New York Islanders scored against us just a few days ago was not offside? Seriously? Go fuck yourselves, NHL. The Caps, obviously just as pissed off about this as I am, they score again right away anyways. After this goal has just been taken away from them, they come right back out. They score again just 38 seconds after that Ryan Leonard goal is taken away. This time it is Rasmus Sandin doing the scoring. That's kind of funny. Rasmus Sandin, his jersey number, obviously he wears number 38. He scores here 38 seconds after that Ryan Leonard goal is taken off of the board. And so yeah, Rasmus Sandin on the board here for the Caps, making it 3-2 for real this time. And that one you cannot take away. Spencer Carberry had sent Ovechkin and Strome's line out there to try to get the momentum back after that Ryan Leonard goal had been taken off of the board. And they immediately get back down into the offensive zone. And then it is pressure until finally, after a great shift here, Alex Ovechkin passed to Dylan Strome. Dylan Strome cross ice through traffic to find Rasmus Sandin, and Sandin lets it rip with Ovi parked in front of the net, causing chaos down there just in front of Sheilofs, the Penguins netminder. Great net front presence there by Alex Ovechkin. You love to see that. And he has a distraction there, and that is pretty much what causes this Rasmus Sandin shot to beat Sheilofs here. It kind of goes off the bottom of Sheilofs' pad and skips underneath him. Like I said, with Alex Ovechkin causing a massive distraction in front. Ovi never actually touches this puck, but does a great job there, like I said, with the net front presence and the screen, allowing Rasmus Sandin's shot to beat Sheilofs pretty much along the ice here. So yeah, great goal here by the Caps after, like I said, a great shift. Heavy offensive zone pressure created by that top line, Alex Ovechkin, Dylan Strome, and tonight it was Anthony Beauvillier as well on the other side of them. Just a great job here coming back out, like I said, after that Ryan Leonard goal is taken off of the board, grabbing the momentum back with a great shift here, and ultimately it results in the goal here for Rasmus Sandin. Like I said, making it 3-2 for real this time. So for Rasmus Sandin, that is his first goal of the season for the defenseman. Great to see him back in the lineup here after an absence due to injury. So great to have him back. And yeah, the assists on this goal, Dylan Strome obviously on the primary assist, and Alex Ovechkin as well on the secondary assist. Then the last shift of the second period here, it is again Alex Ovechkin and Dylan Strome's line here causing absolute havoc in the Penguins' end of the ice. It is Tom Wilson this time with them on the right side of that line, playing the right wing there. And Tom Wilson ultimately here would get the goal with just 5 seconds left to play in the second period, tying things up at 3 goals apiece for the Washington Capitals. And this was again just a heavy, dominating, phenomenal shift by the Caps top line. Alex Ovechkin, Dylan Strome, and like I said, this time, Tom Wilson. They were all over the Penguins in their own end, got created multiple chances rather for themselves to score here before Tom Wilson finally bangs this one home on literally like their 12th attempt of the shift, beating Sheilofs finally here, like I said, with just 5 seconds left in the period. And what effort here, seriously, by this Caps top line. Like, guys are diving all over the ice here, trying to get to pucks, get to rebounds, right? Alex Ovechkin is on his belly in front of the net when Tom Wilson bangs this puck in, because he had crashed the net so hard trying to get a rebound there that he ends up on his stomach. Dylan Strome as well, diving for rebounds. So guys were really selling out here to get this tying goal for the Caps, and they get it here with 5 seconds left. For Tom Wilson, that is his 9th goal of the season already for the Caps' big power forward. An assist on this goal to Dylan Strome, again on the primary assist, and to John Carlson as well on the secondary assist. So 3-3, baby. We are all tied up at the end of the second period. The Caps coming all the way back from being down 3-0 early here. You just love to see this, especially like in the second half of a back-to-back for the Washington Capitals. You know that they have tired legs. They played last night. They traveled to get to this game on the road in Pittsburgh, right? So tough schedule for the Washington Capitals. So you absolutely love to see this here. The fight back from this team, like I said, battling back from down 3-0. And then unfortunately, it all gets blown out the window here with a very weak call on Dylan Strome in the third period here for cross-checking. Weak call, folks. Dylan Strome, after the game, he was very, very, very unhappy with this call against him. And Dylan Strome, of course, like, he is not normally one to complain about much, right? Like, he is not known at all as a complainer. So for him to come out after the game and to be this pissed off about this call, you know that it was a weak call, and I would tend to agree. I was very unhappy with this call while watching this game. Puts the Penguins back on the power play here for the 5th time in this game, and they get the power play goal, their third of the night, their third power play goal of the night. It is Brian Rust this time, and it puts the Penguins up 4-3 in the third period. Penguins would add an empty net goal there at the end as well, Connor Dewar, and so that gives you your final score, unfortunately, of 5-3 Pittsburgh Penguins. And I hate this for the Caps here. I really, really do. I really wanted them to get the 2 points out of this game here tonight. Not even because they were playing the Pittsburgh Penguins, who obviously are one of our biggest rivals. You always love to beat them for sure. And not even just to get the 2 standings points, because like standings points, yes, they're important at any point in the season, but we are still early here. I more so just wanted them to get the 2 points out of this game specifically after how I watched how the first 2 periods unfolded, right? I just wanted them to get the win here tonight for the feel-good vibes around it for the team, because I really thought that they deserved it after the way that they climbed out of that 3-0 hole. Like I said, on the second half of a back-to-back, I really just felt like they deserved it. Wish that they could have gotten the win here tonight to kind of reward themselves for climbing all the way back, like I said, from down 3 goals. A couple of other notes from this game. Charlie Lindgren's game tonight. He was in net, obviously, here for the Caps tonight on the second half of a back-to-back. That is typically when you play your backup netminder, and the Caps did so tonight with Charlie Lindgren, with Logan Thompson obviously getting the win the night before against the St. Louis Blues, letting in just 1 goal there in that game, Logan Thompson did. So yeah, the Caps, they go with Charlie Lindgren tonight, understandably. You know, I haven't had much. I've seen a lot of people complaining about Charlie Lindgren's play this season. I'll just say that. You know, fans on Twitter and wherever else. I will say that I was not totally on board with that up to this point. I just thought that, you know, he's been put in some tough situations so far this season. Like, he has typically just been playing the second half of these back-to-backs for the Caps right now. Obviously, they have decided that Logan Thompson is their number 1 netminder, and rightfully so. He is the best goalie in the NHL this season. So that is well deserved for Logan Thompson. But yeah, Chucky, like, he's getting a lot of tough assignments on the second half of back-to-backs, right? So I wasn't fully on board with the blame Charlie Lindgren train here up to this point, like I said, because I just felt like the Caps hadn't played particularly well in front of him on the second half of those back-to-backs. But tonight, I didn't really like his game that much, to be honest with you. I thought there was a couple of goals that he would definitely want back. You know, he was fumbling rebounds a lot, leaving a lot of loose change out there, and the Penguins did capitalize on a couple of those dropped pucks by Charlie Lindgren. So they got a couple of their goals that way, and so it was just a little bit frustrating to see him not having the rebound control at all, really, tonight. And yeah, the Penguins, like I said, they get a couple of goals from that, and you ultimately end up losing the game 5-3 with the empty net goal, but it was essentially a 4-3 game, right? It was essentially a 1-goal game. So could he have held on to a couple more of those pucks? maybe the Caps win this game tonight. So yeah, I wasn't a big fan really of Chucky's game tonight. But like I said, for the season as a whole so far for Charlie Lindgren, I'm not completely on board for sure with blaming it on him because, like I said, he's had a lot of really tough assignments so far this season. The Washington Capitals have played the most back-to-backs in the entire NHL so far this season, with 4 of them already through just 14 games played. So that is not only extremely hard on the team as a whole, but it is also hard on your goalie rotation, right? Because you're not getting to use your number one guy as much as you would probably like to, right? And I do think that that is unfortunately reflected in the Caps record so far. And to be clear, I love Chucky. I love Charlie Lindgren, okay? But it's just a fact right now that so far this season, there has been a huge difference in the goaltending that you're getting between he and Logan Thompson. It has been like a chasm of a difference between the level of play that you were getting between those two guys, like I said, so far this season. Now, some of that, for sure, is on Chucky to just play a little bit better, right? But a lot of that, as well, for sure, is just simply like how absolutely spoiled the Caps have been with Logan Thompson minding their net. It's not really fair to hold your backup goaltender up to that standard and say, hey, here, look at this, look at Logan Thompson's numbers, because Logan Thompson, like I said, he has literally been the best goaltender in the entire National Hockey League this season. He was the best goaltender in the Stanley Cup playoffs last season as well, leading the Stanley Cup playoffs in save percentage and in goals saved above expected. So he has been dominant for like well over a year now, like since he got to the Washington Capitals and played his first game as a Washington Capital. Not just the playoffs last season. I'm bringing up the Stanley Cup playoffs because that's always, a pretty good time to see if a guy is clutch or not, like if he's going to continue doing it in the postseason. But last regular season as well, he was phenomenal. 31 wins, only 6 losses, right? So for like well over a year now, like I said, ever since he came to the Washington Capitals, Logan Thompson has been dominant. He has been one of the best goaltenders in the entire NHL. He is literally the best goaltender in the entire NHL so far this season, leading the NHL in save percentage, leading the NHL in goals against average, leading the NHL in goals saved above expected, leading the NHL in high danger save percentage, leading the NHL in quality starts. He has not had a start yet that was not a quality start. He is, I believe, only the 5th goaltender ever in National Hockey League history to have his first 9 games of a season where he does not give up more than 2 goals. So he has just been absolutely dominant. So it's not exactly fair, right, to hold Charlie Lindgren, your backup netminder, to that same standard, right? So that's what I'm kind of getting at here, is that it's not like an apples to apples comparison here when you're talking about Logan Thompson, who has been literally the best goaltender in the National Hockey League this season, comparing your backup netminder, Charlie Lindgren, to that. It's not really fair to Chucky. Could Charlie Lindgren make some more saves? Yeah, certainly. I would like to see that too. He does have to pick up his game here for sure. The Caps are not getting wins right now with him in the net. Like I said, some of that for sure is that he's playing pretty much exclusively the second half of the back-to-backs for the Caps. But still, like, you cannot concede all of those games, those second halves of the back-to-backs. You cannot concede all of those games as like a scheduled loss, right? You need to still get some points out of those games. So yeah, Charlie Lindgren does need to begin stopping a few more pucks here for the Washington Capitals, but I have faith that he will. Like we have seen from him in the past that he is a pretty reliable guy, a pretty reliable netminder. So I have full faith in him that he will turn this thing around. And like I said, for Chucky's sake, please stop comparing him to Logan Thompson, because Logan Thompson, let's be honest, is an absolute machine, and nobody in the entire league has been better so far this season. All right, babes, that is going to be it for this one. Yeah, unfortunate loss here tonight to the Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh. Valiant effort by the Caps, like I said, to come back in this game from being down 3-0. Ultimately, though, it falls just short, and they do not get any points here in Pittsburgh tonight. So they will look to turn things around and get back in the win column Saturday in Tampa Bay against the Tampa Bay Lightning. That will be the Caps' next game. So we will be back here on the YouTube channel after that one with your post-game reaction video for that one as well. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Really, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed recently, seeing a ton of new subscribers so far this season. So I love that. That makes me feel really good. Like, what I'm doing here is actually worth it. Like, you guys are enjoying these videos. So yeah, thank you all so much. And thank you as well, of course, to all of my longtime subscribers who have been watching these videos like since day one or pretty close to day one. Obviously appreciate all of you guys so much. Really, like I said, from the bottom of my heart, means the world to me, honestly, to be able to be here talking Capitals hockey with you guys. It is so much fun, having a blast so far this season. Would like to see a few more wins though, picked up by our Washington Capitals. So hopefully we can get this thing going in the right direction here soon. But yeah, babes, until next time, right? Tough loss, like I said, to the Penguins in Pittsburgh. Those ones are never fun. But yeah, until next time, and as always, let's go Caps, baby. And again, thank you all so much for watching. Mwah. We will be back on Saturday.